Welcome to Wednesday Math. Today we are actually combining lessons 63 and 64, which is why you do not see work for lesson 63. We're going to start with our facts this morning. Today for your facts, you are going to choose if you would like to do side A or if you'd like to do side B. Side A and B both have the 100 facts on it. I'm not asking you to do 200 facts. I'm asking you to do them 100. Okay, so if you choose to do the B side, then you're going to go ahead and you're going to put an X through the A side. If you're choosing to do the A side, then you would go ahead and you would put the X through the B side. It is completely your choice on which side you'd like to do. Just go ahead and put an X on the side that you choose not to do. If you're going to do the B side, please make sure that you are starting and writing down all your facts. And you'll notice that when I'm writing these out, I have to write them a little smaller, don't I? But even when I write them smaller, I still have to make sure that my teacher and me myself, when I'm writing, that I can read what I wrote. So they need to be clear, they need to be neat. Do all of row 1, then move to row 2. You are still welcome to use all the tips and tricks that we've ever taught you about how to get these problems figured out. Okay, but then go ahead and get these all filled out. If you want to challenge yourself, give yourself 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes is what I would give you in class. So if you want a challenge, I would tell you to ask your parent, your adult that you're with, to set a timer for 5 minutes and see if you can get it done in that 5 minutes or how close you get. Okay, so I'm not going to ready, set, go you because I'm not going to give you a 5-minute timer, but you are responsible for one side of these facts. Today, though, we are going to be taking a look at adding 2-digit numbers again with regrouping and sometimes without regrouping. So you today need lesson worksheet 64 in front of you. Go ahead and make sure lesson 64 is in front of you and then go ahead and put your name on it. I'm just putting my other sheet underneath because I'm using a marker today and I don't want it to bleed through onto my desk. So your name should be on your paper. And we're going to get started. Now, our first problem that we have is 73 cents plus 15 cents. What we're going to do is we're going to show these numbers vertically, which means we're going to write them up and down. When I'm doing that, here's the number 73 with a cent sign. The 7 goes in the dimes, the 3 goes in the pennies, and the cent sign goes on the outside. You'll notice I did not write the 7 on the top and the 3 underneath it. I have to write it straight across, just like I see it. 15 cents, that's dimes and that's pennies. The 1 goes in the dimes, the 5 goes in the pennies, cent sign on the outside. Now I need to find out what my answer is going to be. So I need to first write my cent sign so that I do not forget. Now remember that I first have to add up my pennies, just like we were learning all week. 3 plus 5. 3 plus 5 is 8. Now I need to move to my dimes. In my dimes, I have 7 and 1. 7 plus 1 is 8. And so my answer to 73 cents plus 15 cents would equal 88 cents. Okay, let's go ahead and do number 2. We're starting off with 29 cents. 2, 9, cent sign, plus 21 cents. We wrote it just how it was written here. Now we need to find out what our total is when we have 29 cents and we add 21 more. Don't forget to drop your cent sign down right away. And we always start with those pennies. 9 plus 1 equals 10. Remember that when you have 10 or more, you can trade your pennies for a dime. So I'm going to trade it for a dime. I put a 1 underneath my 2, and I don't have any pennies left over, so I'm going to put a 0. Now let's add up those dimes. 2 plus 2 is 4, and 4 plus 1 is 5, and so I have 50 cents. Number 3, I want you to write that out. Go ahead and write it out, and I'm going to write it out in just a second. Okay, 17 cents plus 27 cents. Okay, here we go. 7 plus 7 equals 14. 14 is more than 10, so I can trade a dime, for my pennies, for 10 pennies. But I still have 4 pennies left over. Here was your number. See, 14? I can trade that dime, but I'm still left with 4 pennies. Now, when I add this up, remember, I have to add up the 2 numbers I already had plus the 1 that I added to it. 1 plus 2 is 3, and 3 plus 1 is 4. So I have 44 cents. Number 4, I'm going to have you write this out. And then I would like you to solve the problem. Go ahead, write it out and solve the problem. Remember that we always have to start with our pennies. 2 plus 4 is 6. Go to your dimes. 5 plus 2 is 7. 76 cents. Let's try number 5. 65 cents plus 25 cents. Can you write that one out and add it up? Find your answer. Okay, did you drop down your cent sign? 5 plus 5 is 10. Did I do that right? Can I put the 1 and the 0 there? No, I can't. Remember that if I have 10 or more, I can trade the pennies for a dime. So the 1 has to go up here in the dime spot. So all I'm going to have over here is a 0. You can only have 1 digit per area, per space. Okay? Now, we can add our dimes. 6 plus 2 equals 8, and 8 plus 1 equals 9. So your answer should have been 90 cents. I would like to slide down to number 8. We have 5 cents plus 38 cents. Remember that each number we can think about having pennies and having dimes. I have 5 pennies. Do I have any dimes? No. So I'm going to put a 0 in the dime spot, and I'm going to then put my 5. I don't want to get confused and think that I have 50 cents. 50 cents would look like this. That's not what it looks like, is it? It's just a 5 and then the cent sign. So we need to make sure that we show it correctly when we're writing. So 5 cents plus 38 cents. And then the other one I want you to take a look at is 46 cents plus 7. 46 cents plus 7 cents. Am I going to put the 7 in the dime spot? No. It needs to go in the pennies spot. 7. There's only 7. That's not enough for 10. Put a 0 in that dime spot so that you don't get confused. I would like you to add these 2 problems up. Let's add down. 5 plus 8 is 13. Is 13 10 or more? Yep, so I'm going to trade, and now I have a dime. But since it was 13 cents, I got rid of 10. What do I have left? I still have 3 cents. So the 3 needs to go in the penny spot. My 1 went in the dime spot. 0 plus 3 is 3, and 3 plus 1 is 4. So we have 43 cents. And let's check number 9. We have to start in the pennies, and we are adding down. 6 plus 7 is 13. Is that 10 or more? Yes, it is. Put a 1 in the dime spot because we are trading the pennies for a dime. And we have 3 pennies left. 4 plus 0 is 4, and 4 plus 1 is 5. If you're looking for some extra practice, numbers 6 and 7 you have not done yet. That would be amazing practice for you to write the problems out and find your answers for both of them. Please make sure not to forget the cent sign. We're going to move right on to our guided class practice. So, for your guided class practice today, you will need your name and your date. Today's date is 12/16/2020. Do not forget your name. And then you will also need some colors today. Green, yellow, orange, and you'll need red. Green, yellow, orange, and red. You are welcome to use a crayon or a colored pencil, but please do not use marker. Green, yellow, orange, and red. Okay. Number 1, it says, Mrs. Riley wore a different pair of earrings to school each day last week. Draw a picture to show the earrings she wore. So, that probably means they're going to be different shapes. They could be different sizes. So we need a different pair for each school day. So how many days do we have in a school day? There are 5 days in a week for a school day. So maybe Monday she had earrings that looked like that. Maybe Tuesday she had some dangly triangles. Maybe Wednesday she's had some stud earrings. Maybe Thursday she had some teardrop earrings. And then maybe Friday she had some square studs or little dangles. Okay? So each of them look different because each pair was supposed to look different. Then we need to know how many pairs of earrings she wore. Well, we can circle them and that would help us. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 pairs. Each pair is 2 earrings, right? So how many earrings is that? Well, I'm going to count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It is 10 earrings. Okay, number 2. We need to draw a line of symmetry in each of the shapes. So remember that if I draw a line of symmetry, it means that it's going to be the same on both sides. If I flipped it over, you would still have the same. Okay, now we have to look at the angles. The shape with 4 angles, we're coloring green. So let's look. Remember, the angles is like our corners. 1, 2, that's only 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to color that shape in green. Okay. The shape with 5 angles, we're coloring yellow. We said this one was 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to color that in yellow. And the shape with 3 angles, we're coloring in orange. That sounds like a triangle, doesn't it? Number 3, draw 7 pairs of shoes. A pair is how many? 2. There's 2 in each pair. They do not have to look fancy. I have a real hard time drawing shoes. So my shoes do not look fancy. I still like to circle my pairs. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are high top Converses. 7. Those ones are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pairs. Okay, how many total shoes is that? Well, remember that we have to count by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. And if you want to get extra practice writing in your label, you're going to write 14 shoes. Okay. Number 4. It says 2 of these triangles are congruent. Remember that we learned that congruent means they're the same shape and the same size. Same shape and same size. Color the congruent triangles red. Okay, let's look. Does this one have another one that looks like it? Nope. Because this one is so much smaller. That's not congruent. Congruent means same shape and same size. Those are not the same size. Look here. Is there one that's the same shape? Yep, but is that the same size? Nope. What about this one? Nope. What about this one? Yes. So you are going to color those 2 triangles in red. Okay, about how far is it from the floor to the doorknob on your classroom door? 12 inches, 6 feet, 3 feet, or 2 inches? Well, some of these we can rule out because take a look. A ruler, let's see if I have one in here. Nope. Oh, here's one. Ta-da! A ruler is 12 inches. From the floor to the doorknob, is that only 12 inches? No, that's too short. 6 feet would be 6 of these. That's about as tall as Mr. Harvey. Would that be right? From the floor to the doorknob? No. What about 3 of these? Would 3 of these be about right? You could take yours and go from the floor to the doorknob of one of the doors in your house. And I bet you that if you did 3 times, you'd find that's about right. 2 inches? Well, 2 inches first grade would only be from here to here. Is that realistic? No. So it would be about 3 feet. Number 6, it's our last set. Find the sums. You don't have to write anything down. All you have to do is find the answers. So let's go ahead and find our answers. We always start with our pennies. 3 plus 7 is 10. And so since it's 10, what do we need to do? We need to trade and put a dime in the dime spot. And since it was 10, there were no pennies left over. So we put a 0. Now come to your dimes and let's add. 4 plus 1 is 5, and 5 plus 1 is 6. Let's look at our next problem. 24 cents plus 65 cents. Start with your pennies. 4 plus 5 is 9. Did I have to trade anything? No, because I didn't have 10 or more. Now let's go ahead and check out our dimes. 2 plus 6 is 8. The third one, start with your pennies. 7 plus 7 is 14. Is that 10 or more? Yes, so I need to trade. I'm going to put a dime in the dime spot. And if it was 14 and I got rid of 10 of them, I still have 4 left over. Sometimes it's easier if you can see that. Notice my answer was 14. Notice how I can still see the 14? Just the 1 needs to be in that dime spot. 3 plus 5 is 8, and 8 plus 1 is 9. So that gives you 94 cents. And our last problem, 16 cents plus 39 cents. 6 plus 9 is 15. We have to trade. Put the 5 down below. See 15 here? Yeah? Okay. 3 plus 1 is 4, and 4 plus 1 is 5. All right, friends. Now that we've done the front side, the back side is for you to complete for your homework. Please make sure that you use the correct colors if it asks you to use colors. And please make sure that you're working on those sums because you do have some on the back. Make sure you're starting off on the correct side. Make sure you always start with the pennies and then work your way to the dimes. When the back side of your sheet is done and you've chosen your one side and the facts are done, then you're going to put these sheets in your Wednesday folder.